Shalom la bachayayim shal yashala. Peace be to the elect of the nation of Israel. Which the elect of the nation of Israel consists of the 144,000 Hanabayayim, the prophets, which the Lord shall of course wake up to Hamath, the truth. Of course, them acknowledging that the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, coming back in a regeneration, and along with the rest of the 1/3 numerable multitude of Ayashim wa Ashayim wa Bunyam, which are men, women, and children, which were predestined before the foundation of earth for salvation, will receive the Thawah, which is the mark of exemption, and will be delivered out of Great Babylon, which is America, and throughout the various other countries in which we've been scattered to, and the various isles as well. To you, of course, I say Shalom. Of course, the elect of the nation of Israel, consisting of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, and of course the Israelite foreigners whom went astray from their heritage and made like the heathen, likened unto the speckled bird, sticking out amongst the nations, but looking like the nations. Their stock, their genus being back to the original 12 tribes of Israel, being from, of course, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's lineage, which of course is determined through the Ruach Kodash, the Holy Spirit, Ma'amaf of truth. Of course, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Call Halayim La, Alahayana, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. And double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who which I said in the Hebrew first was all praises to our power, Yahweh Shem Yahshai. And of course, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, Shania Kabad, Shania Kabad, La Shalayachim Nawa, was a Quanium Nawa, Shalayasha'ala, which that of course means double honors to our apostles and elders of Israel, which are a Great Millstone, God Wallower Cub, Ba'ith in his times. Shemya Mafba, my name is Mafba from the Great Millstone Plain Tables Machana, or Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia, coming in with another Lamadim Ma'ait, which is a teaching, a little, in the Hebrew, which I uttered, which is titled Free the Nipple Movement. Woman can now legally go topless in 6 states, which I seen this, of course, come up due to you have, of course, those MGTOW, which is men going their own way, their movement. They're pretty proactive, and of course certain things which are going on in the world, which is in the progression towards the feminism. Okay, so this, of course, is a wicked philosophy in which Esau Edom is perpetuating throughout the world, which is the feminism, which is women being advocates for themselves, being liberated, being free to go about and do things such as this, which it says women in 6 U.S. states are now effectively allowed to be topless in public, according to the new ruling by the U.S. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. The decision stems from the multi-year legal battle in Fort Collins, Colorado, where the city ordinance forbidding women from going shirtless in public has now officially been ruled unconstitutional. So they, of course, have overturned a ruling. That's Esau Edom for you. Things are turned upside down, as the scriptures say, which I'll get that. This is the book of it's like Isaiah or Ezekiel. Let me see. Isaiah chapter 5 and 20. It reads here, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. You have, of course, things which are evil and what things that are good, or things which are tawab and things which are rai, evil. And it's wicked what these Edomites, which the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked, and due to them ruling, these philosophies are pushed out where things which are actually evil are actually considered good and legally are in the rights for the people to do so. But when you go to the original order of life, mankind, the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh and Yahushai, Ba Ha Thawra'ah, which is in the Torah, in the law. Women walking topless is wickedness, okay? In the sense of course, a woman could be topless and walk amongst her husband in privacy, but not, of course, in public. This is wickedness, okay? We're going to get into that. It says here, Isaiah chapter 5 and 21, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Of course, you go into prudence, it goes into being so-called, when you go into it, have understanding, which is bayan. Bayan is prudent in Hebrew, which is to understand, to discern, to be able to distinguish, to be intelligent, okay? But basically to be smart. Alright, but that of course is in their own eyes, in which we know that we hardly guess right, and the thoughts of man are vain. There's just some precepts you can of course look into. And it says here, woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. And of course, other people are perverted due to Esau Edom ruling, and them giving them these different wickedness. Alright, they justify it for reward. It of course is looked in a good light in this society to, of course, walk about, to claim your sexuality as a woman and receive mass amount of validation from men other than your husband. Okay, that's wickedness, okay? So the other precept is going to be the book of Isaiah chapter 10. And this is a brief lesson. It says here, book of Yeshaya, or Hasapar, the book of Yeshaya, chapter 10 and 1. Woe, meaning destruction unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievances which they have prescribed, root into law these various ordinances which are wicked. Okay, it says to turn away the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, and that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. It says, and what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? Okay, so of course we see that the Lord is unhappy with the things that's going on in this captivity, okay, which this is likened on to Sodom and Gomorrah here in the United States, which you read that in the book of Revelation. Going further in this actual article, it says here that what started as a small-scale fight turned into a major win for the Free the Nipple movement, a gender equality campaign that emphasizes women's right to choose who they display their bodies. This is why you shouldn't give a wicked woman, the liberty to get abroad. These things happen. Women, of course, thinking they're equal unto men, in which the Bible clearly tells you that a woman is the weaker vessel. Reading on, it says the Fort Cause law had received the first blow in February, when the 10th Circuit originally deemed it anti-Topless law unconstitutional. The court's ruling determined the law was based on negative stereotypes depicting women's breasts, but not men's breasts as sex object. You have, of course, this whole agenda of, you see, it's gender neutral, and due to that, you have it where they, of course, want everything to be politically correct. Like, you, of course, have it certain things as a manhole that's, of course, offensive in this society, and this is just a bunch of confusion with the Lord, isn't the author of confusion, and that's why this place is called Babylon. All right, you can, of course, read the rest of the article on your own, and go into the actual states and such. But that's basically all I'm going to cover in this one, because I have to get going and bring up some other precepts. And it says in the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and it says here in the top, it says here, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, and those Israelite foreigners, and say unto them, I am the Lord your power. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, which is Hamite, Ham, whether I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. So we shouldn't, of course, make any covenants with the heathen, and we shouldn't, of course, walk in their ways. The ways of the heathen are wicked. Okay, so going further, this is the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter. This goes into uncovering the nakedness and such, okay, in which let me just bring out selective ones. Like Leviticus 18 and 17, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter, and to uncover her nakedness, for they are near kinswoman, and it is wickedness. You ain't supposed to, of course, uncover the nakedness of a mom. If you, of course, have relations with a mom, you ain't supposed to uncover uncover the slakia. Say if you, of course, are dating a woman, you ain't supposed to uncover the nakedness of her daughter, nothing of that nature. Okay, so of course, have that. Let me see, slakia, because this isn't the actual term, the actual precept I really want. But I'm gonna read it again. I don't want to go off or anything. So it says, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Alright, so if you, of course, have a woman and you have her daughter, you ain't supposed to uncover both of their nakedness. Yeah, you can uncover the nakedness of your wife, but not just, any woman. Okay, you, of course, got women that are promised unto other men and such, and you have, of course, women that are married, okay, which belong to men. He that begetteth wife getteth possession. All right, so in general, just go into this, you ain't supposed to, if you're dating a woman, don't, of course, be having any dealings on uncovering the nakedness of her daughter. All right, here I even going into it, I'm gonna continue. It says, neither shalt thou take wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is put apart for her uncleanliness. Yeah, you ain't supposed to have all these uncovering laws and such, which I'll have to go into another time because I have to leave. And you, of course, shouldn't you, of course, be doing. All right. You know, you have, of course, you see it being the nakedness of the father's wife and daughter. You know, all of these things. And you could go, of course, into Lot, the story of Lot. You know, some of these unlawful relations, and see things which are in violation. Okay, it's all in the law, but and it's also in the stories. Okay. This is here, this is Leviticus 18, says, none of you shall approach any of that is near kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahweh. Of course, if you're gonna be seeing the nakedness. If you have a woman can walk topless, you have, of course, you got women that walk topless in front of their own seed, their own children. Okay, it says the nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother thou shalt not uncover. She is thy mother, and thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Okay, simple. Mom shouldn't be walking in the house all topless and such. That's wickedness. Okay. Father, you ain't supposed to do either. I believe who is that? I think was son of Ham. Actually, son of Noah. One of the sons of Noah. He, of course. I believe when you go into that story in Genesis, let me see. Let me see if I can get it. Slakia. I'll get it another time though, but I'll go into it. I remember, I think Ham seen the nakedness of his father Noah, if I'm not mistaken, and laughed and something. It was like wickedness or something like that. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, Slakia, if I'm getting this mixed up. Let's see. I'm gonna just put Noah and Ham in. I'm trying to think. Was that Ham? Yeah, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and 22. And it says here, or actually starting above, it says, and Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, that's of course the father of the so-called dark nations, which are of the lineage of Ham, all right, or so-called Africans, that is the father of Canaan, all right. That'd be so-called, I believe Canaan is so-called South Africans. Saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth, we come out of Shem. Japheth, so-called Polynesians, such. When you go into it, Truskins, just note, and it says Pacific Islanders, I believe you go to. It says took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. So they did, of course, was righteous, all right. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. If your father was naked, you don't want to see it, All right, simple as that. So same for your mother, okay? And all these women, they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Simple as that, okay? Um, let's see. Let's go to the book of it's not Solomon, Gomorrah. The book of 2 Peter 2, and starting at verse 6. It says, or actually, I'll start at 2 and 5. It says, "And spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example for unto those who should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, who was vexed with the filthy conversation, which is the behavior goes into the behavior of the wicked." All right. "For that the righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." Yeah, because in the law, such commandments is going off to be, doing all the different forms of sexual perverseness, sexual lewdness, and such, which they did in Sodom and Gomorrah, which is here to today, okay? Which is in America. And America pushes that out to the rest of the nations as well. This is the book of Slakia. It's book of Isaiah, and I gotta leave, so wrap it up. Isaiah chapter 19:14. "The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work." That Egypt is America here, okay? Sodom and Egypt. It says, "Therefore, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit." Okay. So I mean, this place is defo, okay, perverse. Which, when you go into that word for perverse, is the Hebrew word iwayim, which is distorting or perverting. Okay, which you're gonna distort what is good and make it, of course, evil, and do what is evil, you're gonna make it good. So basically the point has been proven. All right, in the short matter, Slaki, I gotta go. So hopefully you're edified. Call all like Yahweh Shem Ashab Shem Kakadash, double honors to the elders, apostles at Great Millstones. Free the nipple movement. Women can now go legally topless in 6 states. This is wickedness. Shalom.